Why?
I told you to.
I'm not detained.
Back in the grass.
I'm not detained.
In the grass.
I'm not detained, am I?
You are interfering with my...
How?
Welcome back to Recognizing Our Rights, We the People. This particular interaction takes place on January 13, 2025 in Montgomery County, Texas. The victim of this situation is named Andrew, with the perpetrators being Montgomery County's constables, specifically Precinct 5 and so-called Sergeant B. Zatskin. On the 13th of January, Andrew with his girlfriend Amanda were on their way to get something to eat when they noticed a traffic stop happening and noticed that a woman from the car was being placed into the back of a police cruiser, prompting them to pull over and conduct their First Amendment right to record the cops in the course of their duties. And a couple of things to note before we start this footage, We the People, is that at this point, like I implied, the woman from that traffic stop is already in the back of a police cruiser, and the cops are already in the middle of searching her vehicle. This is very important to keep in mind later on, but with that being said, let's roll the tape.
What you looking at?
It's alright.
What y'all arresting? What y'all arresting for?
None of your business.
Okay, it is my business.
It's not your business.
This is my community.
Interrupting my traffic
No, I'm
stop
not.
And interrupting my search.
No, I'm not.
Back up for me over there, please. No more for me in the grass, please.
The hell is wrong with you?
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Y'all like going through people's... Y'all must think y'all are still working in the jail or something. That's somebody's private property. Y'all need to get a real job. Going through people's punks, man. It's always in this neighborhood.
What's that?
Cowards. Search. They search everybody.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. For nothing. Like, they shouldn't be searching her trunk and her car. Now they're going to try to say those bottles are evidence they were in the trunk.
What's up? Oh, no, let's go. You good? Oh, that's right. You said that.
That's a pretextual arrest, I bet. Interrogator.
Back in the grass, please.
Why?
I told you to.
I'm not detained.
Back in the grass.
I'm not detained.
In the grass.
I'm not detained, am I?
You are interfering with my...
How? How am I interfering?
I cannot conduct my investigation.
Yes, you can. I'm right. I'm way over here. I'm way over here.
Telling you to do.
I'm way over here.
Please, I'm asking you.
You don't get to tell everybody what to do.
Thank you.
Training a new class of tyrants. What?
In the grass.
For what?
Away from my traffic.
You understand what interference is, don't you?
Stop every time I have to talk to you.
You don't have to talk to me.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Close to my seat. Stop.
You don't have to talk. You don't have to worry about me.
I'll talk to you, man. I'll talk to you.
You can't turn a right into a crime. This is protected.
Several times throughout the original video, the cops order this man to get onto the grass instead of the concrete, claiming that he's interfering with their work. Somehow. But let me just remind you of a couple of things, starting with Houston v. Hill, because these cops didn't even notice that this man was here until he spoke to them. Not only that, but I also want you to notice that these cops did not at any point inform this man that he was being detained, let alone arrested. Therefore, he had every right to be walking around that traffic stop all he wanted to, so long as he was not physically interfering. And don't worry, we will talk about that here shortly, but in the meantime, let's show you what happens when more cops show up.
I'm in trouble now. The cops are here.
Under arrest.
For what?
Interference with public duties. Hands behind the back.
Andrew was placed under arrest for violating the Texas Penal Code of 38.15, interference with public duties. Even though it clearly states in this penal code that a person commits an offense if the person with criminal negligence interrupts, disrupts, impedes, or otherwise interferes with a peace officer while the peace officer is performing a duty or exercising authority imposed or granted by law. Notice how in subsection D it states very clearly, it is a defense to prosecution under this section that the interruption, disruption, impediment, or interference alleged consisted of speech only. And like I said, we the people, we'll get back to this very shortly. But it is very important to note some of the updates that were given to us by Amanda, Andrew's girlfriend. The same lady from the Legally Deaf Lady video that we highlighted several months ago. They are using her probable cause to hold him, saying that he was detained during her traffic stop and he wasn't. They never said he was being detained. Indeed, that is very much correct. They set aside his bond and gave him a $500 bond on this one, but won't release him. They're saying that they have probable cause because they're using hers, that being the lady that was arrested, against him and using him as a co-defendant in her case. She was arrested for having nicotine cartridge under 21. We don't know her and he was not with her. So already you can tell that this is 50 shades of messed up, but don't worry, it gets worse. Setting aside the fact that at the time of me recording this video, and this is several weeks later by the way, the man is still being held in a cage. And not only that, we the people, but Amanda sent me personally the affidavit by the Assistant District Attorney of Montgomery, Texas, that being Lee Romero. And this is what he had to say in this affidavit. Hereafter styled, the defendant did then and there, while Sergeant B. Zatskin, a peace officer, was performing a duty or exercising authority imposed or granted by law, to wit, conducting a probable cause search with criminal negligence, interrupt, disrupt, impede, or interfere with the said Sergeant B. Zatskin, get this, we the people, by recording the traffic stop and refusing to stay away from the scene. Assistant District Attorney Lee Romero, you do not deserve to be an attorney. Refusing to stay away from the scene, my freaking butt. Name one time, one damn time throughout this entire video where this guy got even remotely close enough to be interfering with public duties. Not to mention several times he obeyed the officer's command to move onto the grass when he literally didn't even have to. He wasn't being detained after all, the cops never said it. Also, by recording the traffic stop, are you freaking kidding me? Was I transported to another universe or something where Turner v. Driver and Houston v. Hill never happened? Let alone in the exact same state where this unlawful arrest took place for this very reason? And at this point, they are still holding him in a cell? Honestly, what more needs to be said? I think you know exactly what comes next. Contact information down below to the District Attorney's Office, as well as Precinct 5 of Montgomery County, Texas, for each and every one of you to hold accountable and demand the release of this innocent man, that being Andrew Hedges. Please make sure to be as respectful as can be when redressing your grievances, but similarly to what the acronym of our channel says, please do let them hear our roar. But what's even more important is that you go show some love and support to these guys by subscribing to Ducked Up Police, pointing out a wonderful Texas attorney to them, maybe CJ Grisham, and let them know the Recognizing Our Rights said hello. And just like in this situation, we the people, you need an attorney with you at all times when dealing with the police. Which is why, once again, I cannot stress enough that we have a promo link to Attorney Shield where you can get your first purchase 10% off by using our promo code of ROR1776. Just like in situations like this with the Montgomery County Police, make sure to get yourselves protected from the cops as soon as possible. Don't forget to help these people find an attorney to sue this police department and district attorney's office, and never stop loving the good old Constitution.